part of a program run by the UMass Labor Management Workplace Education Program. Employees get paid release time from work to attend, and each year, after a full year of effort, a small book of workers' writings is published by the program. This year, the book, Writing Our Lives, debuts tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, with a big celebration, readings from the book, refreshments, and hoopla. It's open to everyone on and off campus, so come on over to Memorial Hall from 4 to 6 tomorrow afternoon. That's Wednesday, September 20th. Now we're joined by two of the authors, Beth Berry and Robin Coolbeth, workers here at UMass. Welcome to Upfront, Robin and Beth.
Hi, Daria.
Hi, Daria. Thanks for having us.
Well, I'm really glad you could come. I know both of you have been involved for some years in this writing, and I wonder if you could tell me, just from the beginning, how you got into writing. Did you ever think of yourself as a writer? How did this class, affect you? What was it like? And where are you now as a writer? How about Robin? You start off.
Okay. I've been involved for, about 5 years now. And I've always written as a child. I wrote short stories. And for a number of years, I didn't write. And it just didn't feel right. I really missed it. So then I got back into writing. And then when I came to UMass and heard about this advanced writing group, I knew I just had to go to it. And they're a very supportive group. Leslie Frazier is the facilitator, and she's great. And also, it's like a team approach, because everyone's very supportive of each other's writings. And even if, like now, we're so busy in my office, I can't get over to the classes, we keep in touch, and we still help each other with our writings, which has been great.
Beth, how about you?
The way I got into it was a little different. I had never written. I had been encouraged to write before, but had never tried it. Even though I had worked with a lot of writers, I worked in the creative writing program and work with writers now. And I just, one day, I think it was in 1997, I decided to go to this class. And I went and I just started writing. I call my writing ranting and raving. And there's a lot of it in there, and it just keeps coming out. And that's where I am today, too. I'm still writing just whatever's on my mind, and basically whenever I can. I like the class because it gives me a time to stop and to write. I have a lot of places where I do other things. I do, a lot of sharing and talking. And I like the writing class because I can sit and I can write down what's inside that needs to come out.
And I wonder, it's not too, kind of intimidating to write with fellow workers there. Like I think you probably share your writing in the class, or maybe read a little from what you've written. Mm-hmm. And we're hoping you're going to read a bit with us today. But I wonder, how is it? It's not a little bit scary all of a sudden read to your fellow writers?
It can be. It can be intimidating. I know at first when I started going to the class, I was very reluctant to share my writing. But then I saw other people sharing theirs, and I thought, well, what the heck, and everyone's very supportive. And so, at first it is hard. It's very hard because it's so personal to you, and to share that with people you don't know. But then when you start getting to know these people and they're sharing their personal thoughts and their writings with you, then it's a lot easier.
And I would just say, ditto, you never have to read your writing. You're always asked if you want to. And if you don't want to, if it's a particularly personal or particularly whatever, you just can pass that day and read another day.
Well, I wonder if that would give us a nice moment to ask if you have anything you'd like to read. We'd love to hear a bit of your reading. I think it looks to me like you both brought a little something. How about Beth? Would you like to start?
I'll go first. I brought something, I looked through my computer to see what I'd written, and I found something that I just thought would be great to share today. It's called Daria. One wonders, how breathless can you be? How excited, how excitable? But one sees in your eyes filled with tears that you're moved by love and justice, that you hunger for truth, insist on seeing beauty throughout, insist on sharing bounty with all. One worries that you will not take the time to sit in beauty's stillness, to luxuriate in bounty, to stop giving so you can receive, to relax in the love you create. I think I wrote that for Daria's birthday a couple of years ago, but I just thought that would be fun to share. I have another one about Daria, so I'll read it. It's called Rhyme or Riches. Daria, if I could, I would give you the world. But alas, I confess I'm a mess, and all I have to offer is sublime. It's rhyme, not riches. But I see for you and me that rhyme is riches. So I give you the world.
Well, all too kind and entirely surprising. Thank you, Beth. It's very touching and moving. How about Robin? Robin's going to get me off the hook now.
Okay, well, first of all, I'm sorry I don't have anything about you in my writing today.
Thank God.
I would have brought it, but that's okay. I'm going to read something that I wrote the other day. It was after a dry spell, and so it's called I Didn't Write It Down. I had a brilliant thought the other day. It transcended space and time. The world would have been in awe of my deep philosophical mind. Alas, I didn't write it down. The works of the greatest poets throughout time would pale in comparison to my prose. Shakespeare would turn in his grave, I know. If only I had written it down. Perhaps I could not find a pen that day, or merely was distracted. All I know is something happened, and I didn't write it down. It could have been the next great American novel giving meaning to our lives. The joy and suffering we all go through would become much clearer in our eyes, but I didn't write it down. I call myself a writer and a member of the literary crowd, but how can that be so when I don't write it down? So, dear friends, I ask you, how do I solve this perplexing mess? Actually, I had thought of how a moment ago, but now I can't recall. I didn't write it down.
That's a great one. It looks to me like Beth might have another one she wants to share.
Always. Always. This is a little different tone. It's called With You, I Am Soft. Anger erupts unchecked like sharp shards of glass, spewing forth from ever-tightening stoniness, rigid walls with cutting edges erected to protect the delicate soul inside. But hardness not needed when I trust, when I love. Your smile envelops me, your arms support me, your love melting walls, leaving me open, free. With you, I am soft.
Wow. Maybe I could ask you, actually, do you have another one, Robin? I might have another one for us.
Yeah, I have
a
one
couple
more.
more. Well, she has one more for now.
Well, yeah, one for me. Okay, this is called If You Were Here. Morning brings fresh longing and desire. The memory of your smiling face is renewed. The world awaits, cast now in a shadowy hue. Although old friends and confidants retain their loyalties, no one seems to understand as well as you the joys and disappointments of my day. Time stretches on with no reprieve. So much to share, so much to say, if you were here.
Nice one. I'd like to talk just for a minute about the upcoming book celebration. I know tomorrow at Memorial Hall from 4 to 6, and everybody's invited, there's going to be a terrific celebration with you guys reading your poems and others who've been writing, and celebrating the new publication of a new book of worker writings. Maybe you could say a little bit about, like, just how it feels having your work in a publication and coming to that celebration. I know we've done this in several years, and this is now the culmination of all last year's work. But share a little your thoughts about the book and the celebration.
Okay, I think that's a great part of the advanced writing group is that they do a book, because it's so exciting to see your work in actual book form. It's like, wow, I must be really good if they published it in a book. And even though it's an on-campus publication done by Labor Management Workplace with Leslie Frazier, still it gives you more confidence that your stuff is good. So every year they have a book, and I think it's a great thing.
I love the book because it gives me a chance to share my writing. I can mail it off to somebody, or if I mention to somebody that I've written and they say, oh, what, I can pass it on to them. And I also love the reading. It's fun. I remember the first time I was there, there was a big crowd, and they also had a video camera, and that was really nervous-making. But when I got up there and I heard my story, it was my story, and it was coming out of the sound system, and I was saying it, and I just got filled with my story, actually, and I was really pleased to be putting it out where other people could hear it and hopefully enjoy it. So that's a good part of it, too. Like I said, I like the book and I like the reading.
So everyone's welcome to come. It's refreshments, free refreshments, 4 to 6 Memorial Hall tomorrow afternoon. I've been meeting here with Beth Berry and Robin Coolbeth, UMass workers who've launched bravely into writing. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks, Daria.
And they're just two of the writers reading from the new collection of works tomorrow afternoon in Memorial Hall. I'm Daria Fisk for Upfront. We'll be back in a minute.